Let's go back. Let's go back to Singers, I bet you microphone if you cover boy because either none more Nana, but you have going to someone I don't know. Microphone going to you have a pair born.
Nothing baby brain the mistake now doing kita non function.
But don't they say yes you could them one but if you could use it
yeah I mean
if you have it bring it
yes
yeah so
what do you know
I know people pick my mind.
No, for. German. Beating.
Michael. I'm going to read this in the English language, and at the end of the day, after this, I have other points to give out. After Nana Awulae's translation in our local dialect, then comes Lawyer Nuku, who will be here to also talk about the boundary and others. So he starts. Do I start?
Yes, sir.
The attention of Omanhen and chiefs of the Lower Axum Traditional Council has been drawn to recent pronouncement by Awulae II of Esa Traditional Council to
to the effect that the courts have declared his true owner of Lower Axim lands. Pronouncement which have gone viral on social media. We deem it a duty indeed, an obligation to put the record straight, and it's for these reasons that we are conveying this morning and have extended invitation to you, the media. To start with, we respectfully invite the general public to disregard those pronouncements as said by Awulae Atibulukusu. It is mispresentations or blatant falsehoods. It is true that the Lower Axim Traditional Council and its president have taken action against Awulae Atibulukusu II and its ensigned Traditional Council at the High Court, secondly, to seek a declaration that Lower Axim Traditional Council and ensigned Traditional Council are two separate and distant traditional councils or areas, and that there is no legal recognizable traditional council known and called Lower Town Axim ensigned traditional area. I am being emphasis on this to let the whole world know that there's no way and there's nothing written in the books of chieftaincy having the name Traditional Council by name Lower Town Axim and ensigned Traditional Council. A lot of people may not know. All the Traditional Council are backed by airline, and it is enacted by the Parliament. It is the duty of Parliament for Parliament to make any changes. It is like somebody wanting to register a company. You go to the Register General Department, you mention your company's name, and when it is sensed that someone has already registered, that is never done. They will not allow you. So also the Traditional Councils, if you want to change your name, you have to route it through a Traditional Council, from there to the Regional House of Chiefs, then the National House of Chiefs, then to Parliament. Such a thing has never been done. So he cannot stand anywhere and say he has. Now, let me move on. Awulae Atibulukusu had cast a ensigned Traditional Council to be registered as a company liability by guarantee under the name Lower Town Axim ensigned Traditional Area. Do you, let me ask a simple question. Do you have to register our Traditional Council as a company liability? Even that alone, Grandpa can take him to court. But as a peaceful, loving young man, Awulae Atibulukusu Traditional Council, you have sat so long to tolerate what we needed not to tolerate. But now, we need to. Obviously, under the Companies Act 2019, Act 990, it was for this reason that the Lower Axim Traditional Council and its president took action as stated above. The statement of defense filed by the defendant in the section disclosed no reasonable defense to the claim. Our lawyer therefore applied to the High Court to have the defense struck out and judgment entered for us. That is Lower Axim Traditional Council for all of the reliefs endorsed on the writ. The High Court, however, was of the opinion that the suits had to go through a full trial and would not serve the interests of justice for it to be terminated prematurely. The Court of Appeal also affirmed this decision of the High Court. So, the action is still pending before the High Court secondly for determination. It was on hearing this month, March 26th, and as a stand, has been adjourned to 24th April 2026 for further consultation. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we may ascertain these facts at the registry of the High Court secondly. It is to say that the traditional councils are creatures of statutes. As I earlier said, you cannot just come out and say, I have, as the law is in someone's pocket. The Lower Axim Traditional Council and the ensigned Traditional Council are two separate and distant traditional councils. The law established them in the chieftaincy membership of the Regional Houses of Chiefs, Instrument 2020 LI 2409. This LI lists the paramountcies which constitute the various regional houses of chiefs, and the regulation 16, section 1H of the LI 2409. It listed Lower Axim. That is to say Lower Axim Traditional Council. Also under regulation 16.1M, it is listed ensigned or similarly in some traditional council. We have respect for Awulae Atibulukusu II. It is regrettable, however, that someone of his stature, of his caliber, of his age, should engage in such a dispute attempt in the past by Awulae Atibulukusu II to accept Lower Axim lands has failed miserably. For instance, his attempt to revive a 1970 or 1970 to 1980 suit entitled Nana Ahenata the Third and others versus Western Regional House of Chiefs, suit number LS number 675 was thrown out. Also, the resistance to the processing of the CD forms of Nana Awulae the Third as the chief of Otopa and the Lower Axim failed at the High Court and on appeal. On appeal court of appeal, secondly. The court of appeal judgment was delivered only 17/12/2025. That was just a couple of months ago. Following the decision of the court of appeal, Awulae Atibulukusu II has instituted yet another action before the High Court to re-litigate matters which have been adjudicated. Incidentally, the suit came on for determination yesterday, 30th, and has been adjourned to 17th of next month. That is February and April. Awulae Atibulukusu II and the Sensation cannot therefore choose to pick which decision they think should apply to them. The loss of the state was not made for him. We would like to state categorically or emphatically that no court has declared a science to or the traditional council as owner of Lower Axim lands. As traditionally authorities, we ought to direct our energies and resources to the progressive development of our communities in terms of provision of educational and health facilities, good drinking water and others, and the creation of jobs for the young or the youth to complement the effort of the central government, rather than engage in needless factionalism and unlawful, useless litigations. It is not in anybody's interest for dust to be thrown in the eyes of the public. Suddenly, Awulae Atibulukusu cannot tickle himself and laugh. We entreat the general public, therefore, to disregard any pronouncement made by Awulae Atibulukusu as regards Lower Axim lands. Thank you all for hearing. Now, what this Nana Awulae, who happen to be the center of Ayi, will also explain that in our local dialect. After I have given you this point, I just want to expatiate or just to say 1 or 2 points for you to know exactly what. But this I'm going to say it in our local dialect. Although it is written in the Hebrew, I'm going to say it in the local dialect. You're paying for what then? In your own adofa yeshi moha. Name your own adofa with him or agreeable. Mesrama Casacacra were young fancy. The Yosha Macanisman. And cannot teach an again in there. If you are not as a penny woman, if you don't understand you, honor of Ato and Papa Eddie. Nanda don't tell them, who can't get them painful. I will walk if you, what cannot call some, the word is truth, not call some actually more frabana with you. That is past history. And my daching, one so by then, what come my 1 hour so what? Yeah, and I say now, up and there, yeah, you put down our history and actually, you're trying is in time. You're putting just one cannot power to the man, and can history one key. Now, on one of power working, but they don't tell them, and they don't tell them until them proper. Pay for no one can occur. Now, Marco Cody, maybe a penny, marketing, until that penny or that trophy at the car. Marking and no could be any. No could be any. I will let you go much of the Miss Laka and pay a penny. The answer, the way boy one actor something, but what other can occur. Man, you are there about 2 days a day go. I'm off when you do. Miss Laka, Yama, ever to my ear, come out ever to my ear. Man, boy one on cancer, Yara on fata. Say, your man kick him, man, take him. Nan come on fata. na say wo video wa kwacho ni video we pay akwacho papa anke no dey na ya ahemfo anka ahemfo de ya wo bosi ya kayensa na da mutie wonu yanyam ahinzim owa na wo mama wo ma so awo na se ntuma gire radio do anatwe mo to aka acham den me ye wudifo mukum nipa metedam eyi ne me kire den eyi yen na ye no obi ana se o training ko ya ko awansam na wo me ntwe ni wudi ni no se me ye mudu no se amadu menwa do yakeka aka amadu menwa do ja me ya basa onti de mo no kwa nsam okay na kwara podi hwada enka no tete ye pin for why dan wo nya asase wo papa sa ko wo nya asase na me bisa sa me mem asa akokọ to kenye ekede bam kezi okọ apiko do wo to chene asa da akọ ma yi na asoma nkofo do wo bodewu na me beze go ba me ka me yo dishi me kayem o tani atena ma ya mapa no ma wo bodemu dewu wa bre pin fo wo mo jai wo pin wo bre no wo nya asase wo me anka na se damase bana se ya won yakọ ya nyanyu akọ yakọ ana ya ye mo de ye na so de akọ to wa se ye probe nti oda wo fine eyi no je de me ni odi ni de me yes convict na convict na so ta accident sabi onima ya man pin odi kan doctor kwa man on de fiaze na wo ke yi de bay abendi wa ka de fiade nti o yes convict on na me de ekona na orokon na onkoma na ho or amama no nti obedi president. The same thing applies to politicians in Bebre. Or what does one now politics and Amanion what do Fiaza? When you Fiaza, a Tumijina, a Tumia. The same thing applies to the Ayanfo. Master Salmon paying far bacon, white that walk, mention our minion to car, na and can what the accident message everything. So that time, young bomber young can watch some. Santa says, on a goodie. The master me see that I won't see me yet. Has me at the name. There may be a matter, Melkunipa, one and a weapon. Mamma, when you mamma, the us Melkunipa, and here you are, and now foot to the for Waka Sachama, come very soon or what, not Melkunipa, Mukunaway. And don't put Jack to some them. Mr. Only a son of correct, young thing, you man. Mukata and Kata, Ossi, Emmy, Atibulukusu. Now, Mr. Yankanaba, Obiareni, may go back in the 1486 thereabouts. That is in the 15th century. I want to go back. Well, bet you. You were then serving under authority. Maybe I'm more back in Canada, when you now watching. And that's it. Emmy, you are master. And that's an as master. That's an asset. That's a rather you are done now for free. Divide and rule. Cracker enquiries. 100 affairs. 31 months well paid to your paramount or starting of 2012. The truck cat at the young pen, cat and back in come again, Nayati. Cat and back in come again, Nayati. Near Momosi, cat and not. Cat and what trouble. They'll claim piano. Say a song for what's one makwan. What's one makwan? Ma, a youthful, one year then. One makwanoma, were Awulae and Atibulukusu, were elevating were yen pillow. I better try by that. How much one was it? Often dead or call. Often dead or call. Awulae Atibulukusu. Or Famudi on some at the same body be. No more maybe my opinion on your will I to do on my Africa. What your message that? So when you can master Michelawa, and I'm going to prove that with facts. So when you can master Michelawa, then obey then and they can baby I catch there. Baby, I'm a message. We'll go back in the 14th. Our date was upon elevation. No, we'll be there. Agree what the bank and that's it. One to the show and dressing one to me and young show. One once you are here, one can day and your come for one can day you to Mafo. Minia, Buba Nasabi and that was it. A boo away on Jabu to come with you. What a boo or bushu boo. My child shall, Mamma night shall a foot to me tail and the maybe Minia, my will do my friend. The master of American. Mama madra man kama owo man kama aka onye men chechire mu na mama ma horoba mbe men shawa horoba pra nemo mambaka enye de Ma American day. On that and some now make a one. Then back in Canada one. Crack in Medicare, TV for one there or your ACA document. Now, no one someone back in Canada. Then we'll go more. Secretary of British Army Day, also National Archives of Ghana, certificate of authentication. To all whom this present shall come, greetings. That National Archives of Ghana hereby certify that the next reproduction of each of the paper holdings is genuine and genuine. Now I read the content. The content says, that was in 1912. 1912. Now, opinion also Francis Clotter. Also, reply in the year 1917 thereabout. Also, say no can't say naturally or mine at that time. At that time, the king of Azim, King Gogwata. Also say, I have the honor to acknowledge the receipt of your letter numbered 1000/118. And dated 31st of May last. And in reply thereto, to say that His Excellency, the Governor, has ruled that the ensign stool is independent of the stool of Lower Axim, but that is in notwithstanding the junior stool among the two. Now, so bro, you can imagine me, what are you saying? I junior for number there, message, extra message, and I said you're Democrat in Libya. My one media from Abrobi. Media for we are crack marking Kenny, Madame one, wait for you 1 from 2 8, 1 to Libya. Listen, we are media of one supply bin movie, one print bin one supply, no one there, or free above. I said, I'm a cat, I'm going to crumple to move here with them. One summer in your Yako to some. Oh, Yaku to some under bandam. Many opinion. I said, I'm Mambosume Basa. I am a landlord, may your tenant. Tama Busume Basa. Into my catch, Mamma Padam catch no idea. Busuma Basa or one go to. Mestre, landlord, Mestre, said them same. Mama da panipe. Mama da panipe. Say, what go do them come? Now I'm pound me few months as you do. Then you will become. Bankasa ewo wutum egbe wano aye dede aka na den semi wo beye eyibi wo ha wo beye yibia wo ha no ma na mbaje permit wo na insem ni bo wo no ma oya ne tase oya tete meme de ye ya mbaje permit aba sam na ken meme de ori be ye be yi ma ko be yi into mesere so ma ko fo mo be bi say den sente am be permit aya man come into me man come only ho man come on sem fata man come am fon kada ti amte me nua panyin entu ma won ba kura pona obaka kakre be ma won ba se be wo be panyin onye me ye den yes say ntentu wo ba yari ka huma nede no oba na egwo na metedo no da awonye wana megwa ba ansa na wodede ba nti mede ebumo na wade respect and never be actually true force is you attained by his own self apedo kubuwa na wo so ebumo mesraw me nua panyin no nti mania ma bi onko bi ni onfofo me eyi ne de mepada wa nkasa ama ye kwano ye emu mo si ye be ye there, says Sharon, Mede, I'm a massive Yamaka proof into the Grata. then mochi. Makata so mo so ma pikin. Makata as no mo ndi kuntum. Makata as na wan kata esim kuntum me bedi egbe etuma bahada. 38 years ni abahada betuma baha. And I will live free there. Another will live free there. Abana makrate. Ah, mikita wa misema. Ah, moderator press of one. My ye wo court. The makrate abana me. Oya data we PDC PNGC town. Ewura man no ya wan regional minister. Nesa chase. Mo ba here there. Yakwa kwate bay, we da here for pocket of land, bazi. Young fan da wo pocket of land grandpa. Man na you come yakwa nkran o won sase bebre. Iti da man na you come ka da me sase no won. And I don't know we season. Odo some lower as traditional dance. The man work away. Mestre, when you am slow. My young man chasing your juma. Young man and chasing peace. You always pray, you always preach peace. And maybe I can't. There, I want to pay. I want to them. You rather do the opposite way. Mestre, my young man pray yambra. Can't you get a misamo on number don't try and buy a zoom. I arranged administrative office was already in PO Box 304 second day. 17 July 1989. Celebration of Kuntum in Lower Azim and Ensan traditional area. Come here. Also, in connection with the above mentioned subject, I invited you Awulae of Ensan and Lower Azim before the Regional Security Council. Inform you about a National Security Regional Security Committee held on Friday, 7th July 1989. I inform you that following the judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal, Sitting Accra on Wednesday, 22nd February 1989, that the dispute between Lower Azim and Ensan traditional area should be tried de novo. The word de novo is Yankasha. The man as for the work at the NKC. Ona Nancy 2 years ago, Elkoya 84. And to maybe I'm up when I will to my bathroom. Azuma, I have party. Chasing some another day open in the middle to also, it has been decided that the celebration of Kuntum by Awulae of both Lower Azim and Ensan be restricted to their respective traditional areas. Also, the letter confirmed the above decision for your compliance. You have to comply by that. On the mandate signed by the then regional minister, compared to Nanaja Bukwame second, or Manyan of Ensan traditional area, then Awulae Atibulukusu, then the Deputy Commissioner of Police secondary. On the mandate, and 2 months, and you can welcome to us. There was that until when some night I can. Mububa, when you're paying you. Nemo Mesrawara. What is our friend? Almost was no more ye. Nemo Cocodo. I oya titi. A unity. On the a unity, I can't be good. Nasa, why you're no quara, Anka, a yin, why ye. Minium. Marano Yagana Mran. Why you may know. On Chay be Yamubi Nukutukum. No way, Mrao pen. Or that customer on factor. Mr. Maran, there you are, my move. We are not bigger than the constitution or the laws of the state. Yes. Yen I shall run as it. Put me from running a human. And say, I'm running a human. Or Bob Wayan, or many of my quarter torture. Oh, yeah, Titi Grumpo. The mamma da became. Mamma mine from some. Mine for baby, your mobile mamma. Hey, the man come with it. Now, I have one Madonna from my dad, or baby, your mobile money. Never do come to me to say, who too many mean to me to continue. Into Madassi. Awulae. My back day. My day. Anka, ye, not a handful. Now, for day at the Moran, only addition soon. Because leadership, I need to make a crab. I say, I had my leaders here down your foot. I is an aim of profession. Now, all you need for this time, you will go by word. The urban and some can, maybe American, my potato, both you to work up Google. And they will have the facts, and that will let them know the truth. They will easily ascertain the truth from the Google or Google will be. It is mind my arguing at the end cannot now I can't anyway. No, you. And I don't see that. Let that come you to more from what can you do? No, okay, more also offer. The master. What's the mind? I would in the white child almost 10 years. And son of our 38 years. Into our now. What's the more deacon and what for nature? Tanko, I don't want him from the witch. Yes, you're 9 to 119. Bibi or to the other Ibisa. Now, what's the other called Aderban? Oh, yeah, Tete. Into Mel, into my hell, to my master kind day. Yet you come for my own day. I want to on my opinion. It's not a matter of saying I'm the oldest parliament chief in the Western region. It carries nothing. On carry anything. It is behavior. The way I be carry yourself. One over my hand, you do it also. You do it. Now let's come to orphan assassin. I'm your PE there. Case your coaching. Or your assassin. Or your dinner use. That's it. Abana Motum. There, Papa is my assassin. Learn no professor no go. One, no assassin. Many went edgy Asia. Asia. Into we are. Why you boundary demarcation? Why am you the minute I'm away? Right. In 1992, 1982, Two Land Settlement Commission, or your 16th day of November 1982. Yen is here, your court to me here. Madata Mr. J.A. Esiam, on and on the deputy commissioner to the commission. Yen can say I say again. My what baby a year. Esiam Luanoku, one and your prophet in the Wabachi. I want to Esian. And that's the Ewu, the mission, and the Azuman in Yayodia, a bay. Awulae, Mesro, Madam Master baby, Mamma Capade, a bit deceivable man. Mempede a bit deceivable man. No, call Naka, a pretty piece, now so and your more piece. But the way you ask it, there, Kakra became, wait till much. Medical now, my best in conclusion, my best in your nominal. Yamrantie, and the way. So, a better one could not call out all Mamma came and the history of Azima. A riding childom, Nana, Adumiche, Yapayoko, why throw book needing Azim history, nay, a general that unknown facts of Azim. Written by Mr. Francis Amramanuku of blessed memory. To Mestre, will be an opener of Azim no call. Uncle, a year ago. At the end of the day, Obongo baby up, no Canada. But the way you answer. Now, my pen day. Mechanical tower and smell. I'm a panamakan will be out to my day. Always in now, Yanoko. Yanoko, I'm that way. Minimal from Mamma, you know what that. Baba is on my MIH Mary Coach team. Uncle Gobon coming up with Papa. Let me say a little and sugar. Now, my hair can't cake. Can say, Coach tea and woman, you need radio, no work at all. Often, of them, them, dear McManny, Awulae. I just put one more touching you. My hand. But my family, but I know how. I need the money to be a car or in John Ava Bravo. Now, Odomo used to get a Mom is a no more, young Jay. Now, this is all kind of those, Madame, after a answer. Come to Musua Manel, Mutu to me every day. Mutu, Mom, what I'm a car again. Son and son, my mamma, or what so one. But I'm not patchy, or myself. Now I'm taking like a day. No, I'm not going to sell them can't. Son was so much. Oh, Mamma, that panic pet. Oh, Robert to them or Razzie. I'm taking like a day. Go to Momato Aye. Yama fan is an emoji. Your buyers are near Amania. Messiah. For them all, you know, for them all, yes, and which we have. They are doing for them all, your buyers then. But they were bombless and million. But yes,
So we can maybe permit if you can. And one moment of our permit in order. Now my young or you to Yarake. Remember the other time was a mamma to do. No, if you can do many be a brass ornament. Kakwichi Rikamada, Mali di Kundum, Ababra for Man Ganguake, Namini Kundum, Van Gangla Manam, Mantle be house, a very brass ornament at a battle. Let it into medical. Nak only kitty, only clean. Panaso. Now, if you come back at you, I'm almost a water water. Maybe a cat if your cat is a green. Is here, walking. Now, I'm like I some of the came when you come to talk as a don one gun. And I can be put the Azrael. Let me see. Most of this is well. And Mr. Come on, most of this is well. And they can answer and farm some profit. You come again. What you are coming to be like? Why are you much better? Is here, or is here as I come a can? Yes, then see on what can. This is one of us. One of us. But in my master. Mamma, I found what you want to have about profit. Yes, your man's in you. What fun as something? Sir, I bring your grandson. Come on, your grandma and your party. Young was on letty. And look again. Oh, dear. Go your recommend the Lord and some of my young Brazil. Now, what I saw, Yaza. Nasa can know more about a lady as well about horrible. I am on Fata. Macama to playing cake. What would know be a warning? I don't know. So you saw or used to lower town at Zim and the central tradition area. In my madam. No, dear. Crete, Mechanic restaurant, I won't move. Oti was from Abradon. Oti a more garlic and in South Town. Now, Brother was he got on her. I'm going to get that one in. O say, Ovina Mokola, and Sabia, but like ye Beverly above Alice Biana. No more Mamma Allen, Moticata, if you want to know me alone, if you are going to do it. One master was in the and this was master as a lord. It be. Come as a matter of Paramcumula. Mongakam at Yarake, Madame Paramcum. Yamongakama, I'm going to get Mamma at Yarake. In Yanabo, Alpha White and Webber. Mecanium, I had a Biara, my Uzani, and a Mandana. Now, I'm telling you because you know my Adaka, why you're not Arab prophet, from Kuzichun. Area became Mecanium, and I got 1982. Yea, well, Madame Banani as Razona as the Arian. My baby, you buy my I don't want to get you to know Arian, Yamara, Zaharakai. My, and you are a Lenukum. A year's was on my brother. Come up about my net Tarayan. Waba Profucus. Medium. Mamma from Mountain my own. Kaka and Gopra, but put the school babo. But the room on the Bezimu. You go to my Benyet. You go to Benyanzu of Parabano. Instead, you get come here fire from Manzon of Faswanazo. More of I will be a Cabiara. No more Nitia Kayaka, Yamian Gograma. Na Cribi go my boys. Now I get to make the Kaka Cribi. May I yara? Papa, how will you get it? Who will bring down with the Kaya? Put him sallow. Bassa among a boy. And next, Mopper. My Hosutin, Niaji, a yin. Na Yama, Divia Hospital. I come Kaka, you don't mind her. And the Divia Echo book a gratis, Bolivian. Goggle, a Gogo Green. Yet, boy. Yeah, Mara Pangini, you need your penny come from Mr. Noku, Francis Noku, Soja Noku. Young man, or her brook or broke, probably a Brayacon, more fun of Brofo, but a baby of Google, a Benya. Betting I can't make a bro from my boy. But Mamma, yes, I can take a book with the brain, yes. If you can see a neck from a gram was here, a gram was here, a gram was here. Said, do Brook be an area. I only give you more above her. Nivia, Nanamu yesterday, Brook will be a wine Fiaki. I will be a moon here, or Bomatana. So I hear you know who brought the Nook Boba, or welcome of you. The other basket to be here. Nivia, Nana Awuzan, more, Manzoneka, more, quarter, where you do for a fanic and Yan your mobile. Kata mom can answer more in Ubangui. We are and about lawyer look or down for young and lady put it more of an event. Madame Master, okay, the year. You're let to know, like, come on, Madame Penela, you're let to know. You're there for commander.
One cat. What is one after? Toss leg. Toss leg.